Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is May 31st, 2019, and today is Friday morning. So looking at today's economic events that day, just really one event coming out of Canada. It's a monthly GDP numbers, nothing really to write home about. And as the market has been kind of churning and kind of summer trading already, just a little bit of lack of direction right now. Looking at the Forex symbols, majors are pretty much unchanged versus the US dollar. However, the South African rand is back on its resistance level versus the dollar and got much weaker there. Now looking at the indices, Dow Jones barely bounces off of support, really flirting with that lower limit of 25,000, which is a major correction for the Dow Jones, okay, in light of some of the political issues that are happening around the world. Now jumping into commodities, gold rallies while oil trades lower, okay, which may be a recipe for what's been happening for the Dow Jones as well. And lastly, looking at Bitcoin, we confirms its sell-off, okay, from yesterday and is closing in on its support level. Perhaps it will bounce, but let's take a look at that and see what we can expect from today's trading. So just to highlight this, when nothing is going on, just to give you a perspective of what it looks like nothing is going on, this is nothing going on, okay? This is looking at the Euro USD, and it's trading between a 20 to 25 pip range, okay, which is really a very, very tight range for the Euro USD. So with that said, I would take away for some of looking at the GBP or the Euro or even the Aussie dollar and focus on some of the other symbols. Now looking at that Australian dollar, South African rand, excuse me, we hit that upper limit again. Okay, that's a double top right there. As you can see, 184 was a good resistance level, and sure enough, we sold off of it. Now, I don't want to celebrate the fact that it's, sell off and it's not going to possibly go higher. I wouldn't chase it at these levels, but definitely if it was to continue a bit of a slide, I would look to buy it somewhere in this 1461-ish area, because this is a bona fide resistance level. As long as it gets down to this area, I do think that it may bounce once it comes closer to this 1461, but this double top is confirmation that it is turning on the downside. Now jumping into gold, look at that nice rally we had from yesterday, 1276 to 1293, a nice 20-point bounce. Sure enough, it didn't even hit the bottom of the RSI, and bounced above it. Now this looks like it's getting to a point where it's overbought a little bit. I would venture to wait until it got closer to the 1300 to say that it's overbought. But a correctional move here and a correctional move in oil. Now looking at that oil, it's a nosedive and really falling up below this $58 support area to 55.56. Okay, so that's a major correction there for the price of oil. Okay, now the next real support level, we mentioned this yesterday in our Fibonacci, is 55.28, but really closer to $54 a barrel. Okay, that's really our next real support level, and that could really hit. Okay, it doesn't look like it's got that momentum like it did earlier. Okay, however, it may actually close in on that gap. Now looking at the Dow Jones, look at that nosedive yesterday from 25,192 to right there, excuse me, over in overnight trading actually, okay, from 25,192 down to 24,965, and we're right there at that lower limit. Okay, this is our support level. This is something we set up yesterday with this Fibonacci retracement, but altogether you could see how much further this could actually go. On the downside, you got to look at a daily chart, just give you a perspective of it. That was previous support level at these areas. So 24,964 is a major support area. Okay, and if we do breach it, then the next real support is 24,758, which may really be the case. Okay, like I said, a lot of political issues between the United States and some of its neighboring countries or its economic partnership countries, including China, including Mexico, is actually happening. So with that said, just be aware of it, that we may even close lower there. However, looking at the JSC, look at that. A nice little rally, and it's been under our feet and we didn't even notice it. Okay, a nice little rally, correctional move. This may be a turning point for the JSC. Okay, as the rand's gotten weaker versus the dollar, which is generally the case when a rally happens in a domestic currency. And we're trading at 49,975 and retracing just a little bit below it. So the next real point to pick it up is 4,900, excuse me, 49,400 435. That really is that next point to really pick it up as it's broken above the 2 moving averages. So it does look like it's getting a little bit stronger. What's disconcerting are the U.S. stocks. Okay, if we look at Alcoa, still dead on its real bottoms, about 6 cents off of its bottoms. So it's something to really consider as to which way the direction of the market will go. Will it bounce today, or will it breach that support and continue to sell off? That's the question of the day. Now, looking at Bitcoin, this was the sell-off from 8,600 down to 8,100. We're bouncing off of it right now. But the next real support level, which is around this area, okay, because that was previous resistance area. The fact that it may bounce off of this. I would start buying a little bit into this, okay, not getting too aggressively into it, but possibly for that bounce on trading between the two ranges. On the bottom range, 8,000, on the top range, about 9,000. So, with that said, this is what I would do, just because, but I wouldn't get too aggressive about it because we did breach the moving averages, okay? However, again, this is a very volatile type of asset, so just trade accordingly, okay? Make sure you have stop losses in place. Make sure you're not trading oversized. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day and a great weekend. Thank you.